What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're reacting to Patricia. We are trying to build the Detroit Lions way. Pro Football Focus Talk. Hey, man, I'm excited for this one. Look, I don't know what this is. I actually have no clue what this is at all. But I ran across it as I was like working on some other stuff, and I was like, I gotta react to this. Now, this is on NBC Sports YouTube channel, so if you guys want to check it out, definitely go do it. I just thought I'd react to it. It's 13 minutes long. We may not react to the whole thing. I don't know what to expect, so I just want to hop right in. Let's go.
Year 3. It's already year 3 for
Woo!
Matt Patricia.
Okay, let's see what they got to say. Oh, before we get into it, Matt AP, I see you with the style, my boy. That's clean. You're looking good. The glasses, okay. The beard, okay. Like mine.
Detroit Lions coach, good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, you the man. You know, this is my guy right here.
Yeah.
It's one of the few sane people that was in the New England building. And
Hold up. Matt AP, why don't you come on my show? I gave you on my show. I'm just saying. If you want to.
I mean, I just have so much respect for him, and not only his football knowledge, his work ethic, everything about it is top notch. And I'm always rooting for you. I hope you know that, man.
Thank you. No, I do. Yeah. I do. And you know, I feel the same about both you guys and how great you are to me. And obviously, you know, our history is awesome. So,
yeah. So when he was in New England, who was the person responsible for locking him in a closet and keeping him there? Because that's basically what he
I probably was the guy letting him out. I probably was the guy who was like, hey,
right.
You all right? Come on, let's go. Get back out here. Let's go talk. Let's get caught up and see what's going on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Godsey, though, George Godsey at the time was my gatekeeper who was always
100%.
sending me back into the dungeon.
Yeah, he was getting rid of you, and I was
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying. I don't know what they're going to talk about.
So, you know, it's been an interesting ride for you in Detroit, trying to change culture, trying to bring some of that New England way, the Patriot way, but also being your own guy. I remember you telling me a couple of years ago, I'm not going to try to be Bill Belichick. I'm going to try to be my own guy. How have you tried to balance taking the lessons you've learned from a Bill Belichick with your own unique style and personality?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think it's always hard. You know, you're trying to balance all that, and I would say that it is, you know, for us, it's trying to build the Lions way. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to be our own team.
Okay,
and really what
that's
you do
good.
is you
That's
have
a good
your
start.
foundation, you have kind of what you believe in, and that's what we're trying to impress upon our team. But as now we're kind of getting to those stages where we grow and we shift our own kind of method, that's really what's fun now, because it is really just what we're trying to do more so than what anybody else. But you have to have a foundation to start from. You can't just go in there without that. So we've established that, and I think we've really grown a lot from that aspect. And, you know, you just kind of, you know, year 2, even just the little things, you know, it's funny, we talk about it all the time, getting ready for training camp, and I'm walking the fields my first year, and I'm like, well, these tents are too close to the sideline. What if someone catches a 9 route? Like, it's going to be in trouble here. And just not having to do those things year 2 makes that whole process that much easier. And, you know, we just build as we go. There's just a lot of little detailed things that are already kind of set in place from that aspect.
Now, he said the foundation is built. That's what he just said. That's a good thing, I guess, going into his 3rd year. So I don't think I've ever heard him say that before. So I thought I'd just point that out.
I feel like the perception doesn't meet the reality with, like, the public and how they view you. Like, it bothers me. What do you think is, like, the biggest misconception about you and your tenure in Detroit?
I appreciate that.
Let's get it.
I would probably agree, you know, from that standpoint. But, you know, probably
from
most
that
of my
standpoint?
fault, too. I don't really let my normal personality out there that much. I'm always just trying to be protective of the team. I'm also very conscious of my kids. You know, I'm real protective.
Okay, let me step in here. I respect that with Patricia. That's the facts, actually. I know some people get mad sometimes, and I probably get mad sometimes too, so I'm not going to call out other people for doing it. But I know sometimes I've gotten mad, and I know other people do. But, like, during interview stuff, he ain't going to say stuff that's, like, going to give away information or stuff. He tries to protect the players, and he's always going to put the blame on himself. So I do appreciate that out of Matt Patricia, even though they have been struggling. So I know not a lot of people love him, but I do like that fact of what Matt Patricia does. Let me just say that. And also, my boy, you need to start wearing these glasses more, dog. We need to see them during games. Those are... What is this? Gucci?
My family, and so for me, I know that, you know, my boys in school, they have to deal with a lot. My wife, she has to deal with a lot. So sometimes in those situations, I'm just trying to, you know, protect my family, protect our team, and I don't really get to have those unfiltered moments or those kind of cut up moments where everybody sees that. So that's probably the biggest.
Yeah, that's tough.
That seems to be
balance.
one very clear similarity to Bill Belichick, because I've always perceived that guy that his flatline and you never see any of his personality. It's all about protecting the team, protecting something other than himself, and not allowing himself to be viewed as somebody who is funnier and looser and not that robot that we see behind the podium.
I mean,
he does seem a lot different in this interview. I'm just saying, out of all the interviews I've seen of him, he looks a lot different. Like, look at him. Look at them red cheeks. You know he's hype.
Honestly, he's like my best friend. He's one of the greatest guys in the entire world. So I understand that, but I get to see all that other side. But it is similar where when you're in this position, you just understand. I'd rather have the shots coming at me. I'll take it. It doesn't really matter. As long as our players are protected, our team's protected, my family's protected. It doesn't matter for me. I just I want to do what's best for those guys.
You have played Mahomes, the Chiefs. Really,
Yep.
you guys, I'm not trying to be a jerk. You blew the game.
Yeah,
you had them this year. I mean, you had them.
Appreciate that.
All right.
That was great. Yeah,
But-
thanks.
Hold on, stop. I need to stop, dude. This is so much different. I like this. This is not Matty P, dog. This just feels weird. It feels weird watching this. Like, I gotta go back. It almost felt like any other time this comes out, it's so serious, dog. I kind of like this. This is so different. I know we won't get it during the season, but dude, this is, I don't know, just this reaction. Just look at him go like, look at him give me one of those numbers. Look at
You
this.
had them this year. I mean, you had
Yeah,
them.
totally. Look. He gives it that. What is it? I'm sorry. This is so weird. I gotta keep it going. Maybe he was. I'm sorry.
That's great. Yeah,
But-
thanks.
It's nice how he gives you the little
Yeah, no, it was
pillow
a soft
before the
landing. It was
knockout.
100%
Yeah.
like, hey, that was a really good game. You really stunk it up there. I appreciate that. Thanks. Don't worry
Yo,
about
like,
that.
this
Don't worry
is
about
not
that touchdown
Matty P,
return
though.
for
I
100
like
yards.
this.
Don't bring up
Okay.
all those memories where we dropped Kelsey.
I can watch these.
Got to have it play or let Mahomes scramble at the end to win the game. It's good. I got it. I'm good.
Okay,
No
yeah,
problem.
sorry. All right, good. I went below the belt, so now we can get through that. But like, what is it? What you had some success
Yeah.
slowing them down. What is it like defending him in that offense?
Well, I mean, obviously it starts with Andy Reid.
Right.
I've been going against him for a long time. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. He's a great person, great coach,
Yep.
great leader. So it starts there. He's really probably one of the guys, especially early in the season, when you have to play an Andy Reid team that you're like, oh, don't play them early because they are so more advanced than anybody else in the early part of the season.
They roll
with their
early.
offense. Yeah, it's rolling.
Right.
And, when you're a defensive coach and you're
That's
trying
true.
to build defense through the course of the year, you're sitting there going in September, October going, I'm not going to have enough for this. Like, this is going to be an issue.
Dude,
Right.
this is.
Season opener
I feel like I'm learning,
Yeah,
dog.
New
And
England.
he's firing at 1,000, cylinders,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey, we got like 3 defenses in right now. I hope we can kind of build on that a little bit. But
Right.
I think it starts with him. Mahomes is phenomenal. I think they have great players. I think obviously the defense is playing complementary football now. Their team is much different now than it was when we played them.
Yeah, right.
Like every great team at the end of the season, they evolve, they change, they adapt, they get better. So early in the year, thought we had a good plan. We did a couple really good things against them. I thought played them hard, played
We
them
did.
tough.
We
I was
did play
proud
them
of our
hard.
guys. Wish we could have finished it better. But you go to Andy, you go to the quarterback. That's where it's got to start when you're looking at this team.
And so if you were getting ready to play them now, given where they are right now and given what you've seen from them, what would be the
snap.
message to the team, to the coaching staff? What would be the goal to try to outscore the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah. Well, I think at this time of the year, it's really the same. It's going to be all playoff football and championship football. It's going to start with the run game, stopping the run, running the ball, covering kicks. But I think that's really hard for people to understand when you think about Kansas City because how explosive they are vertically down the field. But if you allow that quarterback to run, if you allow him to take over with his feet, you're going to have a lot of problems. So it might be controlling the run, but through the passing game and the pass rush and making sure that you take care of that from that standpoint. One of the things I think that's, Mahomes has done such a good job of is with their skill players when they're at full strength, with Hill, with Kelsey, you have to play them. You have to play them in certain ways. So coverage-wise, they're not seeing as many coverages as maybe you go into a different game with. So it's pretty easy for him to recognize. And some of those deals where hey, everyone's got their back turned. You're in major help in the deep part of the field. That rush gets out of lane just a little bit, he's gone, and that's the part that can frustrate a defense the most. So you have to be very, very disciplined up front. If it's a third down situation and you let your D line rush past the quarterback against this guy, it's just you should know that ahead of time, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, when you say that, like, there's coverages you can and can't play, and you almost got to, like, simplify it. Like, well, why? Like, what is it? What is it about their skill set and everything there?
I think it's just how explosive they are, and
Yeah.
you know how fast and how much, how many
Right.
points they can score.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're in a situation where, if you're going to take your chances and
Yeah,
you're going to pick
right.
your spots
Yeah,
where you want to be
got to,
aggressive and
man.
get after them a little bit more. But I think you know how dynamic it is. If you miss up, one play, one assignment, it's a touchdown.
Right.
It's not a big play.
Right.
They're gone.
They're
That's
gone.
true,
Right.
dog.
They're
That's
gone.
true.
And that's the hardest part for it.
Is there anybody comparable to, like, defending Mahomes through your years in New England, anything like that? Is it Rodgers-esque? I mean, that's the guy I kind of fall
Yeah.
on, but is it that, or is it totally different?
It's a great question. I think There's guys that are similar from that aspect.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is great with that. You
Right.
know, obviously, different but similar would be just those guys that can threaten you, with
Russell
their feet
Wilson?
at any time and take off and go.
Maybe. Wilson
so
hasn't
from
had that many
standpoint,
weapons,
There's
though.
similarities, but he's just, I think he's so much more advanced, and he's grown so fast
Right.
with Andy from, playing him early and playing him young, where you didn't really see him see some things, or maybe he's kind of reading that first read and maybe waiting till they get open before he throws it.
Right.
Now that thing is like, the read is, the progression is, all right, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Right.
And it just happens so fast. I think his decision making
Their offense is
really
crazy.
improved.
Yeah.
Is it as simple as, and I think about the Bill Belichick mindset, take away what the opposing team does best, right? Is it simple enough to just say drop everybody back and force them to be slow and methodical and patient and take what's available underneath and take away that?
Let me just say that I don't know if we've seen anybody actually like hold them under a specific like 25 points this year. Have they? I mean, that'd be interesting to look up. Like us, we did really well forcing turnovers against them, forcing a lot of fumbles. I can see where they're coming from. And someone's like, you're going to give it points. This guy, did anybody slow this team down this year without Mahomes?
That 50-yard touchdown, it
Yeah.
could be the backbreaker.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of that, you can mix that in, but I don't think this is not an offense where, call it the bend but don't break. I think at some point you break, so there's going to be those opportunities where you have to take those chances and you have to be aggressive with them.
But don't break.
There's
That's the
definitely,
motto.
situations when you play an offense like this where they can score, you're trying to gain an extra possession. So there's going to be something else in the game, whether it's a special teams play, an extra offensive play for your offense, something where you're trying to gain just one less time that he has the ball.
You got to prepare for Shanahan in a Super Bowl.
That fumble hurt us. That fumble that they were, whoa, that was jacked up. I'm sorry, had to point it out. Y'all know, y'all remember. The fumble return.
Tell us, like, what is it like? What are you worried about when you got to play Kyle?
Kyle, he does an unbelievable job. He's one of those guys that I really admire from a coordinator standpoint and a game plan standpoint.
Yeah.
Obviously as a head coach, but I mean, I'm talking about specifically game plans. So when we look at other opponents or we're looking at things and I'm trying to figure out, different plays or schemes that have worked offensively,
yeah.
I'm going to watch his offense. I'm going to look at how he attacked the opponents, because I think he does an outstanding job of finding the weaknesses, exploiting them, putting his players in great position to make great decisions, good plays, and just managing the game. He does such a good job with Jimmy, who's obviously great, knowing him as close as we do, just putting him in those positions where he can have success. And I think that's what Kyle's doing a great job. He's really putting his team.
I'm going to let the rest of this run through. We'll watch the rest of this. I don't know how much more there is, but we'll watch that.
Let's talk Lions for a minute.
Yes,
Martha
that's
Firestone
tough.
Ford
Thank
came
you.
out near the end of the season, at a time when there was a lot of speculation about what she's going to do and is she going to make
Ooh,
changes.
what's she gonna say?
She made it clear she's going to stay the course, but her message also seemed to be, hey, next year's a big year. We expect a winner in 2020. I mean, how do you balance appreciating the support, but also it's kind of clear that the expectations are high going into next season?
Sure. Well, I think let's split it up into two different categories. I meet with Mrs. Ford and her family and the organization all the time. We have open conversation every week. We're in, great discussion about the organization, what we're trying to do, and what we're trying to build, from that aspect of it. It's certainly an organization where we're trying to improve every aspect of what we do. And certainly, we're trying to get there. Obviously, our record was not good, and your record is what it is, and that's what you are. But I do feel that the growth part of what we were trying to do was there, and I think she recognizes that too, which is great, and I appreciate that. I think it's so hard nowadays. Everyone wants instant information, instant success, and quite frankly, things that are meant to be great take a while, and you have to allow some of that to develop and grow. And I feel we have good players, we have good guys. They're great in the community. They're doing things that are important, and I think that's all recognizable. So that's kind of one side of it. I think the other side of it, the expectations, that never changes. Everybody's always got to win. There's only one team happy at the end of the year. I'm not even happy to be in, Miami unless I was playing.
Oh, you look a little happy,
it's
my
a
boy.
mindset change.
No,
it's different than probably a lot of people think, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one team. Everybody else is the same. And right now, for me, I approach every season the same. Every game, I expect to win. I expect us to go out there and play hard, compete, and we'll just go from there. So I don't really worry about that part.
Well,
of it.
we got to make it known here too. I mean, hey, listen, I know the year didn't end up the way you you want to do, but when you lose your best player on your team, arguably
Ooh,
Matthew Stafford,
this is
will sit
interesting.
here and
They
go,
don't
"The
talk
year
about
was
this
gonna
stuff
be
with him.
different."
Yeah.
I mean, he's a difference maker. And then you got screwed over in Green Bay by some bad calls. I mean, those are some of the worst calls of the year. They affect your life to where now, like, the owners make
He knows. Come on, man.
decisions. But, like, talk about Matt Stafford and what he brings to the team.
You know
when
we got
he's out there
cheated.
healthy.
He just
I
said it in
appreciate
front of
that.
everybody.
That's why I love you doing your job, because you say those things that
I could say the
you know
things that you
that
can't say.
are so
Without being
good to say. You know, because my message is going to be the same. I don't really care who's playing. We're going to find a way to win.
Right.
Be competitive. But I'll say this about
Nah,
Matthew
the Packers
Stafford.
thing?
Unbelievable guy. He's amazing. Really going back to last spring. And, you know, putting a new offense in, you know, hiring a new offensive coordinator, trying to develop and grow him as a player, and all the things that he had going on. Man, he's the same guy every day. He's tough. He's smart. He's the most amazing thing about. I'll shoot him a text and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this guy?" I could be talking. I'm telling you, it could be a Pop Warner kid in like Dearborn, like, you know, B team, and he would know him. He's just a football junkie, and I love it. You know, I love getting in those meetings with him and talking about defense and what I see and what he sees, and he's just tough. He's competitive, and he's just an outstanding leader. You know, there's nobody that those guys don't get fired up for more to go play, and you know, he's extremely talented on top of it.
Right.
So. All that in effect, it's one of the reasons for me that he is one of the reasons I left New England. You know, there was a lot of opportunities that I had, but to go be around a guy like Matthew Stafford, for me, it was a great opportunity to grow as a coach and be able to be around a great player. So from that aspect of it, you know, I couldn't be more happy.
Yeah. There he is, Matt Patricia, Lions head coach. We wish you all the best.
Hold up. If y'all didn't hear that, go back and listen. Did you see how excited Matt Patricia? Look at his face. Look at my boy's face. All right, this dude looks like, I don't know. This dude looks like a Christmas. Look at his face. He obviously is super happy that Stafford's there. That's why he just says one of the reasons he went there. Stafford ain't going nowhere, dog. Look at Patricia. Look at him. Tell me this face. Wants Stafford out of there. Let's finish the rest of this thing off. And, yeah.
2020 and beyond. And thanks, as always, for some of your time.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys always. I appreciate you more than you know.
All right, well, that is it. Let me know your thoughts. I thought it was pretty cool to see him. I mean, it was a lot different than we usually see. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. It was just a lot different. You know, the interview felt different. It felt like, it didn't feel like watching a Matt Patricia interview. It felt like watching just like, you know, just hanging around, just chilling with the dogs, with the boys. Yeah, I don't know. Something. It just felt really weird. Seeing him not wear what he usually wears was awful, really goofy. You know, my guy's got the little haircut going. Okay, you know, not a hat. It was different. But at the same time, it was also cool to see like that. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of cool to see it. Hopefully 2020 is a great year. But I did, you know, he knows they got cheated versus Green Bay. But, yeah, man, the way he talked about Stafford right there at the end, this dude was happy as heck to talk about Stafford. Let me just say that. So, let me hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I thought it was kind of a cool interview, though. Thank you, Pat, for watching, and I'm out.